How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to explain to you what just happened in the crypto market and two things to keep in mind. So, I just did a video talking about what was happening, something to keep in mind, just looking at some of the numbers and what was happening with our flash crash, but some other stuff has come out. I do want to talk about it here and talk about a couple of things to keep in mind while you're trading. Don't do these things. Make sure that you have these things covered because you will have a lot more money if you do this. Now, let's take a look at the crypto market. So we saw this flash crash. Almost everything fell. Everything fell from about 10:06 Eastern time all the way down for about 5 minutes. And we saw Cardano at $2. Now it's up at $2.40. Let's take a look at some of the other cryptocurrencies. And I will apologize because I do have a lawnmower outside my window, but I can't wait on this. I need to talk about crypto. So we have Cardano falling, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana barely fell. It's unbelievable. But we are seeing drops in a lot of different cryptocurrencies. A lot of people are very worried. So let's take a look at why this happened. And Willy Woo explained it. So Willy Woo is one of the best people to take a look at in the crypto industry. He's very knowledgeable. This is what he says. They opened with equities risk off. Some sell down of Bitcoin. We saw about a $1,500 drop from about 52.5 down to about 51. Medium levels of fundamental inflows, so people were selling. Then a stop loss hunt, liquidity collapse. So we had no liquidity. We had a lot of people, probably whales, that were trying to get stop losses to be triggered. What happens is there's a limit where you say, okay, I'm gonna sell if Bitcoin falls at 56,000, or maybe I'm leveraged up a lot. Maybe I'm on 25x leverage, and if Bitcoin falls 4 or 5%, then I get liquidated. And we had $1.1 billion worth of BTC liquidations. Overall, unsupported by investor fundamentals, on-chain exchanges are now in inflows. People are buying. Not entirely sure what happened, but that's a sequence of events. The sell-off was mainly on derivative markets, like most crashes. So, what can we learn from this? Well, first of all, don't leverage. Even if we see a very bullish scenario, whales, if they see too much leverage in the markets, they will collapse it. They don't care. They will cause liquidations, and they are not above manipulating for that. We saw that back a couple months ago. We had a flash crash where I don't remember the exact numbers, but we saw Bitcoin fall pretty drastically within about an hour. And a ton of people were wondering what the heck happened because it was at like 11 p.m. at night and it flash crashed and then came back up. We're very bullish now, but that doesn't mean that we can't see flash crashes, right? We saw Bitcoin hit like 43,000, Cardano at $2. Personally, I move some of my money around. So this is the other thing. Don't use leverage. And then also, if you are trading cryptocurrencies, make sure you have multiple brokers. Right now, I cannot use BlockFi. I get the spinning wheel. I talk about BlockFi a lot. I like it a lot, but I still can't use it. I use a couple different ones. So I have BlockFi. I couldn't get in there at all. Coinbase was down. Binance was down. Also, I could use Voyager. So I do have a link to this underneath the video, but you can see right here, Voyager's working. I can trade in Voyager. Now, I have limits to how much I can deposit in Voyager, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but I moved some of my money from Bitcoin over to some smaller cryptos. So Voyager did go up for a little while, but it was only down for about 10 minutes. And I sold some Bitcoin. I put it into ADA, Matic, and VeChain. I think that when we see a big pump, we will see these move up a lot more. And you can see that Bitcoin fell down about 10%, while some of these other cryptos fell down much more. So I am happy with that trade-off short term. So if you guys want, there are links down below to Voyager. Voyager does seem to be a little bit better than BlockFi, than Coinbase. But let's not forget that the whales can still trade cryptocurrencies when all these different apps are down. They have access to places that we don't. They have access to cryptos when we don't. So that's something to keep in mind, that, hey, you need money spread out on different platforms. I also have Trust Wallet, which does not pay any interest rate. It is a little bit, I'd say it's a little bit safer of a bet if we do have a market dip like this, because it did not have a problem at all. I went on PancakeSwap. I changed some of my Bitcoin over to Cardano on the dip, and I think that's going to be a nice little flip because, again, Bitcoin did not drop as much. Cardano probably will pump a lot more over the next week. What's going to happen here moving forward, I don't know. I'm guessing probably a nice slow steady return to about 50,000, 51,000 over the next few days. But we did look in the last video. We do see the middle of the week seem to have a dip, and then the weekends seem to pump up. So that's something to consider, right? If you are looking at buying over the next week, probably makes sense to buy now if you can get into your app. Now, like I said, BlockFi, Voyager, Coinbase, even Webull wasn't allowing people to buy. So make sure that you have a couple different platforms. There is a link down below to Webull in case you want to try them out. I don't like buying crypto on there, but if you want to try it out, you can get some free stocks. So first of all, okay, don't have leveraged positions, especially 5x, 10x, 20x, 30x leverage. You can go higher than that. Don't do that. This was to set off some stop losses, and it did a very good job, but we are seeing people buying right now. A lot of people have been waiting. Now I think is a pretty good buying in point because we did see a nice dip. I mean, we're still down a lot from 52,500 down to 46,500. There will be a little bit more fear in the market moving forward, and that's something you have to take into account. It's something you have to pay attention to. But overall, crypto's still in a very good position. I mean, look, the 1 month is still up significantly. Long term, this is actually good. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for checking out the links down below, and I'll see you in the next video.